Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns!
Holy shit. What the hell was that reaction? So there's a video game coming out soon called Starfield, and in it there's a super in-depth character customization system that has stuff like 50 different options for complexion blemishes. So to most people, it comes as no surprise that you can also customize what pronouns the NPCs use to refer to your character. But the one person who was shocked by this being an option is the YouTuber Heel vs. Babyface, who had this reaction when he came to the customization screen on his live stream.
What? Name? What? What? He, him. If you want to play, pick your pronouns, then you should have an option to not enter pronouns.
Well, that's a very progressive thought, but I don't think Bethesda wants to put in all the extra work to recontextualize all of the dialogue in the game to not use the words he, him, she, her, or they, them. Sorry if that hurts your little snowflake feelings, but that wasn't the end of it, because later he decided to go on a more in-depth rant that was clipped on Twitter by Dan Vasquez too, with the caption, "Western gaming industry with the mighty Heel versus Babyface, #Starfield."
I just want to say something to you, Bethesda. Just want to say a little something. There is nothing I love more. Taking my headphones off, fuck that. Bethesda, there is nothing I love more than to sit down, comfy chair, turn on my PC, fire up a brand new RPG, lose myself, think, oh my God, just think of this world. Just think of all the planets I can visit, all the immersive things that I can get involved with, all the fights, all the relationships, all the people I meet, all the places I go. I'm so excited to go there. And you know, I love nothing more than, with all of that laid out in front of me, I love nothing more than to be dragged out at every fucking conceivable opportunity so you can fucking current day us. Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Because that's all we fucking know! Because we're boring! We're so fucking boring! We can't see past our own fucking reflection! That's the level of our narcissism here at Bethesda Western Game Company! Fuck your immersion. Fuck you having a good time. Fuck you falling into a world and just getting lost. No, no, no. Current fucking day. Fuck off. You're boring. You're fucking dull. You have nothing to say. You are a one-hived mind twat waffle. That's all you fucking are. And you wonder why people are getting so fucking sick and tired. You take everything we love, all our immersions, all our fantasies, all our escapism, and you just can't help shovel your dog shit, fucking crap ideology into everything, every single solitary fucking thing.
Dark Viper AU responded with this clip.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Philly Beats You reacts to the clip by saying, "Bro mad over a 2-second pronoun decision screen. This rant was longer than it takes to just select he, him." Keehan Death responds by saying, "And what do you think would happen if right-wing ideology was inserted and you had to pick a religion at the start?" Philly responds by saying, "Bro doesn't even know about religion choices that exist in Starfield." Runeward Gaming responds by saying, "Right fucking on. The passion and wrath made my day. It voiced so many of my internal thoughts from the last couple of years, where I thought I was just being hypersensitive to this shit. Nice to know I'm not alone." Nina Infinity says, "I didn't get this mad, just really annoyed me, but I think you were absolutely right about everything you said. The pulling us into current day thing is what annoyed me. We can't have anything nice." The Wanderer says, "It's there for about 1 to 25 minutes depending on how long your character creation process is, and then it's gone. It's not a central or key part part of the story. Just there as an option for those who want it. How is that bad? It's an RPG. It should be thorough and let you choose whatever. Simon Thomas responds by saying, it's not an option. You must have a bullshit pronoun. I agree with every word he said. It's fucking pissing people off. The Wanderer responds, if you were he, choose he. If you were a woman, choose she. Or if you were someone who chooses neither, choose they. Pronouns existed long before the 21st century, and this is no different than choosing male or female in Mass Effect or Dragon Age, just with one extra option. The dude says, local caveman sees customization option in game and lets out his primal rage at a camera. Satvizin says, you know if you are mad about it, you can just choose he, him and move on with yourself, right? It takes 2 seconds to select the option. It's no different than picking male or female in other RPG games. Now there are more options for those people who need them. It's not just about you. Quit crying about it. Bethesda isn't gonna miss you if you don't play the game. The Actman quote tweets the clip and says, gorilla-shaped man on the verge of crying because Starfield lets you pick pronouns at the start of the game, and then it's never brought up again. Somebody please shoot this guy with a bear tranquilizer. He's going to attack someone. It's Dusty's response by saying, this person makes me wish I wasn't British. The Actman responds, I'm sorry for your loss. Game Changer Charity responds, with this picture of a crying Wojak in the caption, gamers who want more customization when a video game allows you to customize your pronouns. The Actman responds, didn't hear anyone bitching about Baldur's Gate 3 letting you be a female with a dick. Purgatory responds to Actman by saying, it's like I'm witnessing a baby cry because his mom moved the iPad 2 centimeters away from him. Forge says, genuine question though, does it actually matter? Like, do NPCs actually use the pronouns you choose? Because if not, then why even have it in the first place except for pandering, you know? Like, it doesn't bother me, but if you're gonna have pronouns, then at least have them matter. The Actman responds, I think obsessing over pronouns is as cringe as the next reasonable man, but I'm like 8 hours in, and I can't recall a single moment where my character's pronouns were brought up. It's such a superfluous issue, to be honest. D-Resitron says, oi, heels versus babyface is great. Just a passionate person speaking his mind like many other creators out there. The Actman responds, he's great at making people that criticize pronoun use look like a bunch of shit-eating cavemen. I'd love to see pronouns in every game moving forward for no other reason than spite, and to watch this guy's world melt. Mischief says, Dan Vask when he opens a book and someone refers to a female character with their pronouns. It's a basic aspect of the English language, showing someone raging with a gun up to their head. The Quartering quote tweets the Actman and says, instead of addressing his points, you insult his appearance and says he needs to be shot with a bear tranquilizer. Normal and level-headed response. Leftists. Pronouns are no big deal. Also leftists. Spurg out all holiday weekend about how pronouns are no big deal. Ricada Law quote tweets Actman and says, if it's never brought up again, why have a player pick them? If it's not useful to the game itself, why was it include? Oh yeah, that's right. Heel versus babyface is right. Heel versus babyface then responds directly to Actman by saying, how is being called gorilla shaped not the greatest of compliments? Silverback, baby! He then posts a picture of himself at the gym and says, this gorilla looking guy did his hour at the gym, while Twitter burns screaming about stuff they claim doesn't matter. He then tweets out this clip with the caption, thank God they never saw this.
Listen, I know I should have been more forthcoming about who I was earlier.
Yes.
So, in the interest of full disclosure, there's one more thing you ought to know before we head up there.
You're a dude.
My relationship with the UC. It's more complicated than it might seem at first glance.
Uh-huh.
The UC's actually the only reason I'm here in the first place.
Yeah.
I am a clone of a man named Francois Sanon, one-time fleet admiral of the UC during the Colony War, former head of the UC Navy.
The Actman continues tweeting about heel versus babyface when he posts this meme showcasing a virgin Starfield hater versus an average Starfield enjoyer. Punished Billy quote tweets him and says, I'm going to mod out pronouns and ugly women. Memeology 101 says, YouTuber that criticizes shit for a living calls out YouTuber that criticizes shit for a living. More news at 11. The Actman then tweets out another clip of heel versus babyface and says, so I wanted to see what the guy who screamed about pronouns in Starfield thought about the Hogwarts Legacy boycott, and I was not disappointed. The hypocrisy is prophetic.
I will not be berated, bullied, intimidated into not playing a game because you think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Boo fucking who? Man up! Fucking pronouns! Boo fucking who? Man up! Fucking gender ambiguity! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology, and you just can't help! Shovel! You are dog shit! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Fucking crap! Ideology into everything! You think it attacks you or goes against your ideology. Goes against your ideology. Goes against your ideology. We can't see past our own fucking reflection!
Agreed.
Not Harion responds, what the hypocrisy? On one hand, people are boycotting a game because of J.K. Rowling's opinions that happen to be anti-racial, a meta reason that has basically nothing to do with the game. On the other, heel versus babyface is criticizing radicalism in another game. It's consistent. The Ackman responds by saying, the hypocrisy is that he couldn't man up because pronouns in an RPG goes against his ideology, just as those weirdos thought you were a bigot for playing a wizard game because that goes against their ideology. The flags may be different, but the methods are the same. Stefan responds to Ackman by saying, who cares what that guy says? He loves the attention, I'm sure, and he's probably only going to pander harder since this gets him attention. The Ackman responds by saying, people on the right who care about the issues should care because grifters like this don't earnestly believe their own words. They don't believe in anything and they misrepresent the actual points people on the right are trying to make. Mischief responds by saying, wait, you were telling me that political gaming channels have no spine and are often just grifters? The Ackman responds by saying, people like this will transform their morals and values to accommodate what they think their audience wants to hear. They lack consistency, embrace hypocrisy, and expose their own grift in the process. This is why political commentary on YouTube is such a shit show sometimes. Marsupial Gamer responds to Ackman by saying, ah yes, personally choosing not to play a video game is the same as, checks notes, bullying women to the point of breaking down sobbing on stream, and potentially committing suicide. Brilliant analogy. Now do canceling Disney Plus's cancel culture. Ackman responds by saying, I love the part where you made up all this shit I didn't say and then pretended like I said it. Marsupial Gamer responds by saying, to be clear, I never said that you said that. I said that you used an analogy, always a bad idea, comparing two completely different situations. I honestly don't think you would ever say that. It was just a bad comparison. And for the record, I agree with your takes about 90% of the time. I am sorry that our interactions have only been in that small 10%, but you make me mad sometimes, I'll admit. I'll try to be less emotional and more constructive when I inevitably disagree in the future. V quote tweets Ackman and says, there is no hypocrisy here. A, he is against the message. B, he said he will not buy Starfield. He did not encourage people to bully streamers who play Starfield. The Ackman knows this, and he is being very disingenuous here. Heel versus babyface then responds directly to Ackman's hypocrisy claims by saying, wait, so the gotcha is, I will play Hogwarts because I won't bow down to the woke mob trying to cancel the game because of J.K. Rowling? Clips like these are great when you don't have context. That Umbrella guy responds by saying, isn't that the guy that got shit-canned on YouTube and needed an army of the same people he's talking smack about to get it back? Babyface responds by saying, yes, hypocrisy is a wonderful thing. Someone else who made a big call-out post against Heel versus Babyface was Hassan, who said, this British guy losing his mind over selecting pronouns in Starfield is the perfect demonstration for why we must bring back lobotomies. Bro should be mad that the menu/map/UI is confusing. The game is not optimized well for PCs, or that the main quest is kind of dull in comparison to the side adventures, but he's mad about pronouns he had to choose like in every single game where there's a character creator. The Quartering quote tweets us on and says, the left always tries to gaslight people into thinking they are overreacting. It isn't just the pronouns, it's the slippery slope it represents. Cultists screaming it's no big deal also think it's no big deal healthy young women mutilate their bodies for affirmation. Actual Corn responds by saying, grow up, laughing my ass off, god you were so emotional. Quartering responds by saying, you are literally proving my point, child. Corn then responds, your point is that your emotional outbursts are valid, which is just such a pathetic fucking cope over nothing. Your opinions are based in petulant outrage. Heel versus Babyface responds to Hassan by saying, paid for in exposure? He then quote tweets him again and says, remember when you said America deserved 9/11 and your uncle said he wanted to decriminalize having sex with animals, where you were giving hashtag content? Yeah, I remember. Memeology 101 quote tweets Hassan with a picture of his empty chair highlighting how bad his reaction content is. D-Day Cobra responds to Hassan by saying, I remember when you wanted to play Hogwarts Legacy. You were too scared of your own community, so you cried about it instead. Soy boy mentality. Critical Drinker responds to Hassan with a picture of his empty chair and saying, can't wait for your live reaction, bro. Hassan responds to him by saying, remember when the Barbie movie made you this mad and I reacted to that, but you couldn't post a chair reaction clip from that because it was embarrassing for you? Justin Wang makes fun of the controversy when he posts this image of Pokemon where you select your gender and says, I've had it up to here with this shit. Mark SP responds by saying, when did games have to get so political? Shaking my head. Vosh says, smashing all my Pokemon games with a hammer because they ask how you identify and don't use the Game Boy's cell scanner attachment to check your chromosomes. Text to Harm says, what makes it funnier is that this is what normal people actually want. Bradley Charles says, Wokemon. And then Captain Wolfie responds, gotta catch they them all. The Quartering quote tweets Justin and says, I love Justin Wang, but this is not the same thing as demanding a player's pronouns, and everyone knows it. Another person who was really upset with this option in Starfield is Nina Infinity, who tweeted out, I almost refunded my game when Starfield asked for my pronouns. I still might. I'm annoyed about it. Marsupial Gamer responds, can you type in any you want? Nina responds, no. Only she, her, he, him, they, them. I would be fine if I could put beep boop boop or Queen/Your Highness. Kioi Music then responds by showing Nina's follow-up tweet where she said she refunded Starfield and highlighting all of the pronouns that she used. K-Med responds to Nina by saying, sounds like you may he a snowflake. Good to know. Old Mate Gamer responds, imagine that is the reason you refund Starfield. Also, everyone has pronouns whether you like it or not. Does she get mad at the doctor when she has to circle Mrs., Mr., MS, or Miss? DZS responds to Nina by saying, how are you this much of a snowflake? Laughing my ass off. Melanie Mack responds by saying, welp, I won't be getting it, confirmed. Andy Cortez then responds by saying, go woke, go broke, lol, fragile crybabies, showing that Starfield is the top pre-ordered game on Steam right now. Stu Chu responds to Nina by saying, can you just opt out, or is the pronoun thing forced? Nina responds, forced. And then Lofty Pixels responds by saying, everyone has pronouns whether you like it or not. You use she/her pronouns, Nina, laughing my ass off. This game just lets you make your own decision if you want to. If not, you use the default gender ones like you do in real life. This is manufactured outrage. Nina responds, no. It made me choose between she, her, he, him, or they, them. It did not give you a choice to opt out. It didn't give you a choice to write your own. I would have written Queen/Your Highness as my pronouns. Ben responds to her by saying, I thought you hated pronouns, highlighting that she used a pronoun in her sentence. Black Garrett says, I stand with heel versus babyface, showing a picture of him looking smug behind a burning house. McNasty says, I love how some people that say, you would never survive in a Call of Duty lobby, can't survive choosing pronouns in a video game. Shay Frillis says, I think we should get on conservatives' cases every time they use pronouns in a sentence. When they say, he went to the store, respond with, he? Why are you using that woke shit? If they are going to be stupid, they gotta be consistent about it. Elvis the Alien says, this is so pathetic. If pronouns in a game make you this upset, there's something seriously wrong with you. Your Movie Sucks says, no pronouns sounds way more woke than anything else. So I don't know what these people even think they want. Bird Respecter shows this picture of a man with a bat and says, hey, no fucking pronouns! Razor Fist says, look bro, just calm down bro. It's just a little pronoun, my man. We are just introducing it into all forms of entertainment and even elementary school curriculum, bro. It's no big deal, but we'll deplatform you over it anyway, bro. Pudding Person says, pronouns has ruined Starfield for some people. We need to start adding pronouns to stuff. Food, water, anything. Let's ruin everything for them. At Gun Store. Me. Hello, alpha male. I would like to buy a gun. No woke, please. Beta store owner. Due to wokeness and socialism, we only carry guns with pronouns. We have she, her, and they, them rifles, and he, him, and Zer pistols. Thankfully, this isn't real, but it could be. Balverk15 says, welcome to the culture war. Do you want to be team space buns or fascist? Or pronouns in Starfield cause white replacement? Neither? You think both of these are dumb? You must be a fence sitter who doesn't believe in anything. Cody Johnston shares a screenshot of this tweet from Dan Vasquez who says, requested a refund for Starfield. Fuck Bethesda. And fuck the political radical weirdos in the Western gaming industry, staining with the ideological clown world bullshit. What should be first and foremost an escape from it? Back to Skyrim. Lady Gravemaster responds, pronouns? And then Cody comments on all of this by saying, pronouns? The Sigma female says, buying Starfield for the sole purpose of picking my character's pronouns. Review Tech USA reacts to all of this by saying, I'm jealous to be honest. I want to live in heel versus babyface's world, where life is so easy that pronouns in a character creation screen cause me to rage like this. Sargon of Akkad then quote tweets him and says, it's not really about the pronouns. Pronouns are just a symptom of the pervasive corrupting force of social justice, continuing to humiliate white men for the crime of being white men. It's everywhere in the real world, and now it's in his escapism, which he paid good money for. Why should he not be angry? The entire philosophy is built on a series of lies, and requires us all to commit to its lies or face punishment. We are supposed to clap for men winning women's sports, approve of diversity hires who put people's lives at risk, and believe the media when they tell us white men are the most dangerous group in our countries. The agenda is not incidentally aimed against white men. It is openly prejudicial and explicitly targets and demonizes them every single day from the most powerful pulpits in our societies. An evil will has infused itself across our civilization, and it demands we recognize it as good. Every day in every way we are lied to by people who know we know they are lying, and yet they feign outrage and turn us into pariahs if we speak up and say that they are lying. It's unbearable, and they expect us to pay for the privilege. That's why heel versus babyface is angry, and I don't blame him. That British chap responds by saying, it's a fucking game about space, Carl. Calm down, mate. It's not going to hurt you. Sargon responds by saying, I'm sorry you couldn't read or understand what I posted. That British chap responds, the point was you made a massive wall of text post about something that isn't nuanced. It's literally just Az ranting about a stupid pronoun option. That's it. There's nothing more complicated about it, and it doesn't require you to delve knee deep into the current state of our society. Why you choose to do so is just strange, honestly. And then Carl responds by saying, see, you didn't understand. I'm sorry to hear it. I hope once you've calmed down, you could take some time to reflect on it and come back with some proper thoughts on the matter. And that's about it for what I want to read today in regards to the Twitter reaction to this whole pronoun clip. This blew up, so of course there are more tweets about this, and if you want me to make a part 2 that's more focused on meme tweets rather than tweets making a point for or against heel versus babyface's argument, be sure to let me know in the comment section below and share any thoughts you have about this situation, whether you agree with me or not. If you don't want to miss coverage of more Twitter drama, don't forget to subscribe to this channel with notifications on and to leave a like, as there's probably going to be a lot of angry people disliking it and we'll need to combat them. Anyways, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.